Gun control. Gun control, gun control, gun control. We just had a shooting. It was a 6-year-old shot a teacher. I don't remember the state. You remember the state?
Ooh, what state is that?
Virginia.
It was Virginia.
You're right, Virginia.
And the teacher warned all of the faculty and staff multiple teachers, that, hey, we suspected that this 6-year-old child was carrying a gun. Nobody listened. The child shot the teacher. She didn't die. He shot her, and she's suing for $43 million. Now, I don't care about the money. What I want to know is, how in the heck did a 6-year-old get a gun? In another case, what we just talked about this.
Bruh, you come for my guns, bruh. Me and the rednecks is teaming up, all right? Chitty chitty bang bang and whatever the rednecks version of chitty chitty bang bang is, bruh. Don't come for my guns, bruh. We gonna have it up in these streets, bruh. I'm just letting y'all know, bruh. I got plenty of them. Come on with it if you want to come with it, bruh.
I don't think there should be laws or, regulate guns or anything like that. I just think that, we should teach our kids young, have guns in school for teaching purposes and, get them trained on how to properly handle a gun. And not saying that will stop gun violence, but that will stop accidental gun violence. And then I'm sure we can go in more in details about it later.
Gun control. Do we need to do something about gun control in America? You can't control it. They need to just do away with it. Having gun control is like trying to control prostitution on the Vegas Strip. It's irrelevant. They're going to get their hands on it. Hookers going to do what they do, so just get rid of it.
Gun control, I'm not going to speak on it until you see the podcast. Because I got a lot of stuff near and dear to my heart about what I feel about gun control.
You tapped in with the folk kings. You rockin' with the folk kings. You tapped in with the.
Take a place with the same amount of population or more, right? Why don't they have a lot of these school violent crimes? So that you could take Mexico City, you can take Russia, you can take whatever. However, I will say this, I got checked on something. I'm looking here and it says the US has more guns, but Russia has more murders. So that doesn't always correlate that, the more people you have or whatever, or the less guns you have, the less murders. That's not always true. But I just want to know, we got to figure something out. We got to figure something out. There's no reason on planet Earth you can tell me how can a freaking 6-year-old get a gun. People know that he's had the gun for a while, which I'm not going to blame the gun store. Firstly, I'm going to blame the parents because how don't they know he had a gun? You know what I'm saying? You should be, if you're doing your job right as a parent, I'm not a perfect parent, but I'm a good enough parent to know you can feel when your child is feeling some type of way, or if something is going off, or if they're going astray, right? So where was the adult in this? And my main question, and I'm gonna let everybody else talk, is I'm not gonna say we should take everybody guns, because you can't, because America has a population over 370 million and almost double we have in guns. So it's almost impossible. I think it's a cultural battle that we have to fight, because other places have the same, or if not more guns than us, but they don't have these violent crimes.
Yeah, real quick, I want to, this is from CBC News. It says that there was, the police killed the shooter.
Oh,
it was a trans shooter. The police killed the shooter 14 minutes after the 911 call. And it was 3 9-year-olds that were killed and 3 school staff members that were killed as well.
Oh, man.
So why? Why?
Yeah, that's crazy. But everybody is, showing love for the trans community, the LGBT community. So,
Okay.
But that's another topic. We ain't gonna get.
You're right.
But so.
I want to hear this.
Hey man, child support is unconstitutional, dog. I just gotta throw that out there right quick. Child support is unconstitutional, so just let y'all know that. But what was your question again? I gotta.
What I'm saying is, we got to do something, because this is what I get tired of hearing. I get tired of hearing You're not gonna take my guns.
Yeah, you ain't taking my guns, dog.
It's my Second Amendment right. Blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
But
Because,
what we gonna do?
all right, so
what we gonna do?
I'm gonna tell you. So don't come for my guns. Not just because I love my guns or whatever, but if we allow the government to come for our amendments, if we open that Pandora's box, then they're gonna start coming for other stuff. They're gonna come for all kinds of rights. Oh, y'all allowed us. We found a way to break into a law that was written that we're not supposed to be able to unwrite. You know what I'm saying? But now y'all allowing us to start to change important laws. Women are already angry right now because the federal government took away the whole
The Roe versus Wade? They didn't take it away. They just said,
they left it to the states now. So they take it away federally is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So changing that law wouldn't do anything. All you're gonna do is hurt law-abiding citizens. So because the people who's doing this person was not a law-abiding citizen. If this person was law-abiding, they wouldn't have shot 3 children and 3 school staff members. 6 people is dead because of this person.
Okay, but
That's not a law-abiding citizen.
I got it. But what I'm saying is, 6-year-old shoots a teacher, didn't kill him. Thank God.
Right.
The
The 6-year-old, that's just bad. That's just bad parenting. You can't get around that.
Okay, we agree.
That's just
with
terrible parenting.
that. We agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, what that child don't even at 6 years old. You don't know anything about no laws.
Nothing.
They definitely didn't. That child definitely didn't walk into a gun store and say, "Hey man, let me get that 9 mil." You know what I'm saying?
So you think it's negligence? Maybe they didn't have the gun locked up. Or?
That's exactly what it was. Exactly. Think about this. How many? I think the law is if your child shoots, deletes themselves or whatever with a gun in your house. Your gun is legal. You bought the gun legally and all this and all that, blah blah blah, whatever. Even if you locked it up or whatever, that child gets a hold to it and self-deletes or something like that on accident. Even if it's an accident, right? You going to jail, right? Because you didn't protect that child from that weapon, right? It's the same thing.
If it was locked up, how the child got a hold of it?
Obviously, they must have seen you where you put the key or seen what code you put in. You didn't do what you were supposed to do to
Better
make
get one
sure
with a
you
fingerprint
hid the
reader.
gun from this child. That child shouldn't even know where you put this gun at. They shouldn't know at all.
According to the Code of Virginia, they have a statute that's saying allowing access to firearms by children the penalty is as follows. Appendix A. It shall be unlawful for any person to recklessly leave a loaded, unsecured firearm in such a manner as to endanger the life or limb of any child under the age of 14. Any person violating the provisions of this subsection shall be guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. In your experience, both of y'all was in had experience in law enforcement, correct? Can y'all just give me a story? Did y'all ever see anybody in reference to gun control, like a minor or somebody who shouldn't have had a weapon that you had to handle?
Not me.
Never had it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't that type of. I wasn't a cop. I was a bounty hunter, so we didn't deal with stuff like that.
Hey,
The dog.
the dog. Child support is unconstitutional.
Child support is unconstitutional, dog.
Only thing I'm trying to say, man, it's sad, man. A 6-year-old, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, 6, shot a teacher, and then you have this student that kills 6. It's like, when is enough, man?
Right.
Like, when are we gonna have it? It gotta be something we could do. Because I do agree, you don't want to take the weapons away. Because look at your history. Every country that's the people relinquished their weapons. Look what happened. The government came in and took over because there's no way for them to fight.
Yeah, we can't allow them to just come in, man, and take the weapons, bro. It's not gonna lead anywhere positive, man. I know a lot of other countries, man, think that Americans love their guns too much, and see, this is what they did for us. I talked to a chick from New Zealand a few months back. Yeah, and she came over and she was chilling with me or whatever, and her, we tried a little dating thing. It was cool at first, and then first she hit me up with the what do you think about Trump? And I said, oh, here we go.
Oh man.
This is over.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not a huge Trump supporter or nothing like that or whatever, but I'm just like, if that's where you go at the beginning of this date, then this is not going to end well. Yeah. But then she hit me with you Americans love your guns. Like, why do y'all? You don't need guns. You don't need what you need an assault rifle for. I'm like, first of all, why do you care what I'm doing with? As long now, the day you see Bossy on the news, oh, today in Memphis, Tennessee, shooter, a veteran from the army, Bossy is shot and killed, whatever, however many, like, then you can say something.
Yeah.
How you just said it yourself. There's more guns. There's 300 and something million people
Billion?
in the million people in the U.S. Roughly double that in weapons, right? So how they think about? Sure, there's school shootings and other stuff or whatever, but you would think that there's a lot more shootings going on for that many weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. I never thought about that because I'm looking here at sources, Wise Voter, and America is 32nd in gun deaths by country. It's
right.
4.12 per 100,000 people.
Right.
You know who number one is? El Salvador, a.k.a. home of MS-13. Mm-hmm. So,
go ahead.
Now say if you was going to ban guns, don't ban the assault rifles. Ban the pistols.
But the reason they're not going to do that is because they're not using pistols to shoot up schools. They keep, for some reason, they just keep using assault rifles.
I don't know.
So that's why they keep going after assault rifles. At first, they was talking about shortening the magazine capacity and stuff like that.
But like that 6-year-old, he had to have
that was a 9mm. That was
a
9mm. Yeah.
But I think most school shootings are with handguns.
A bunch of them that I've seen is with assault
ban
rifles.
Them, but I'm saying if you was going to ban something,
yeah,
those are the more
it's
crimes.
Easier to conceal.
More
and all
crimes
that.
are committed with a handgun.
Right. But see, then you look at places like the UK. They don't have guns, stuff like that. But they knife.
Yeah,
their murders by knives is
very
ridiculous, bruh.
Very high.
So that's all I'm saying. That's not the problem. The problem is I'm just gonna say it. If you gotta bleep it out, bleep it out. It's the guns is not the problem in the U.S. Yeah. The problem in the U.S. is
negligence.
The country, the problem in the U.S. of America, the U.S. of A, is because we keep fucking, for some reason, we keep making our country sulfur and sulfur, right? So many people need psychologists and all this stuff to help you with but it's because you took away whooping your kids, right? Now kids feel like they got more power because they can't be whooped too much. I mean, I'm still gonna whoop my kids. If I go to jail for whooping my kid, and I just go to jail for
I'll fuck a kid up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. But a lot of people, it's not whooping their kids. Even my daughter's mom, right? She don't mind me whooping my daughter or whatever. But my daughter she's a good girl, so she don't really. I don't really have too many reasons to whoop her. I can't even think of. I can count on maybe on one hand. She's 10 now, and I can count on one hand how many times I actually whooped her. Other times I probably checked her on something or something like that. But whooping her, nah, it don't really. She don't really do anything like that. But to give so much power to children now. It's ridiculous, and now you see what's happening with that, with making the country so weak. And now these kids, what they keep saying, the prisons is filled with men that was raised by single mothers, whatever the case may be, that didn't learn how to deal with their emotions, right?
Yeah,
because the fathers wasn't in the household and stuff like that. So when you raise children that don't know how to deal with their emotions, they turn out like this, right? Yep. Because you ain't disciplined them. I'm not saying that you have to beat them or something like that, but there's got to be something to do with children to give them some act right so they don't turn out like this. That's all I'm saying. It's not the guns. It's stupid motherfuckers with guns that kill people. Yeah. Not guns. The gun's just laying there. Somebody got to pick it up and actually use it on someone to actually make it do what it do.
And my last point we're not that bad because we got 2 people above us. Total gun deaths by country. America is number 3, 13,001. Brazil number 1, 47,510. And Mexico is number 2, 20,509.
That's just cartel. And
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Now, you know that what they're going to get you on that one is we are one of those, I don't know the word for it, but the type of country that's supposed to be more civilized, right? These countries are pretty much run by cartels.
Right.
And so you're going to get stuff like that. For a civilized country, as civilized as U.S. is, we shouldn't be this high up on the list. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it is what it is. You got to think about it. We got all of these people in the U.S. Plus, we're making our country soft. When you go to these other countries, like you said yourself, like Japan,
Yep.
they are more family oriented. They are more honor bound and stuff like that or whatever. They got their knuckleheads or whatever, but they more on the you need to get this right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do right in school and mind your elders and stuff like that. In America, it's just run them up, do whatever, freedom, right? It's in the
Wild
name
West.
of freedom. It's the wild, wild west out there, bro.
I think like when I was like, I don't know, 10, I had a 12 gauge hanging in my room on a gun rack. And I knew not to not to touch it or anything. I even had the shotgun shells in that case.
Yeah.
And my dad taught me, don't touch that shit.
Right.
Unless I tell you.
Right. That's how my granddad's house was, man. When I was a kid, at his house, as soon as you walk in the house, there's a kitchen, and then there's a long hall that goes down to the bedrooms or whatever. And he used to have all his hunting rifles and shotguns hanging up on the walls, and all the kids, everybody just walked right past these. We could grab them, but we knew better not to.
Yeah.
We gonna get, and that's another thing. When me and my daughter's mom were together or whatever, I would every Saturday I would take all my guns and I would bring them in the living room and I would clean them all by hand, one by one, right? And it only took one time for her son, my baby mom's son, he's older than my daughter, right, to touch one of the guns one day. I needed something. I forgot what I think I needed some more gun oil or something that I left. But the gun was broken down. All the guns were broken down, right? And I came back to the room, into the living room, and he was touching one. I beat the dog crap out of that boy, right? And from that day on, he knew to never touch the gun. Even he would stand right by me and stare at the guns as I'm cleaning them. He would even ask to help to clean them. I wouldn't let him, but he would ask. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, you can't. You ain't ready for this yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in today's world, the woke people will say that you was wrong for that.
But see, that's my point. When you just like what you say all the time about Germany, the way they do sex, right? It's a natural thing with sex, right? So when they become adults, it's not so ew. It's a naked person and all this stuff, whatever, right? So that's the way. If Americans, we already know. I don't care what you say. Americans love guns. Even the people who claim they don't really care for guns that much, they know they like guns. They even did a test in the UK. They let some people from the UK shoot guns. And for the first time, at first they was like, nah, I don't really care for it that much or whatever. I don't know why Americans love guns. And you can look this video up on YouTube, right? And they shot them and they had a great time. They was like, now I see why Americans like, these are fun. I like guns or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is, if you put the kids around it more, I'm not saying let them shoot it. I'm not saying let them touch it, but you
remove the mystique from it.
Right.
Teach them
Get them familiar with it or whatever, and it's not such a cool or crazy thing. Oh, it's a gun. It would become a thing in the States where it's just another gun. I don't really care. It's just what we do. It's nothing. It's the same as just seeing a remote or whatever just laying around. It's nothing crazy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we keep making it this big issue in America. Even one of the last big shootings before this, when they brought all those kids on stage or whatever and let them debate the NRA on guns or whatever. Why'd you bring that? That's the stupidest. Why are they here? What? It don't make sense, bro. They lead them out of it or whatever. But the Democrats is just constantly throwing them in front of this or whatever.
The Democrats. I say again, the Democrats and the Republicans.